maybe because there are animations. Your Sandra, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is what we had done. These are the lathe bed. Here are some animations. I'll show you some other day. This cutting tool angle is also important from examination point of view for 5 marks. So if you have any doubts in this presentation, you please ask. So this has been done. So that can be defined. It can be defined the machine which removes the metal from a piece of work and to the required shape and size. So what are the different types of legs? Different types of legs are engine lathe, bench lathe, pressure lathe. Engine lathe means there is no motor, rather there is an engine which drives the spindle, lathe spindle. So that's why it is called as the engine lathe. Bench lathe means they are small lathes and which are kept on the bench or which can be kept on the bench. That's why it is called as the bench lathe. Sometimes the legs are so small, like you might have seen the tea making machines, tea making machines. They are very small. So some legs are even smaller than that. Those legs are called as the rabbit leg, chua, rabbit leg. As I told you, legs are so small that you have to work with the microscope. Microscope means like the watchmaker you might have seen that they use this lens. So similarly, if you want to work on those machines, you need to use the lens. And sometimes some lathes are so big, like roll turning lathe, which you can see in textile manufacturing units or Air India workshops. So some lathes are so big that person can sit on the tool post. A person can sit comfortably on the tool post. Such a big lathe. Pressure legs are nothing but the coping legs. Coping legs. Like I just now I give an example of key making machine. So key making machine, it follows a template of your master key and accordingly it produces the next key. So that is what is called as the tracer leg or it is also called as the copying leg or it is also called as the template leg. So you need to have a template. So again in copying leg you can have hydraulic copying leg or conventional copying leg. So in case of hydraulic copying leg, the mechanism that is moving mechanism is hydraulic. That's why it is called as the hydraulic copying leg. Automatic lathe and semi-automatic lathe. So automatic lathe means everything is automatic. Loading and unloading of the component. That is also automatic. Whereas in semi-automatic lathe, the loading and unloading of the workpiece or the component is done manually, and rest of the things are automatic. That's why it is called a semi-automatic. Whereas only automatic or fully automatic, let me, you have loading as well as unloading also automatic. So it is unmanned. Then turret lathe. Turret lathe is a kind of a lathe only, but there is a turret instead of tool post. I mean, you have front tool post, you have rear tool post in case of turret lathe, and plus instead of tail stop, you have a turret. And on the turret, you can mount the six tools, and that's why it is called as a hexagonal turret. So generally, all turret lathe will have 14 tools, unlike our normal lathe. Normal lathe may at the most you can have four tools if you are using four-way tool post. Whereas if you are using capstan and turret lathe, then you can have front tool post four tools, rear tool post four tools, rear matlab पीछे का, and hexagonal turret on which you can mount six tools instead of tailstock you can have hexagonal turret. So that means 6 plus 4 plus 4. So 14 tools you can mount on turret leg. Then computer control legs are nothing but CNC. That is PNC, tape numerical control, CNC, computer numerical control, voice numerical control, direct numerical control, and so on. Most of the components you are already familiar. The components which you are not familiar, I will show you. Like spindle speed selector, headstock assembly, spindle, switch tool post, the compound rail, the front side. This portion is top portion is saddle, this portion is apron. Then this plus this is called as the carriage. Now here you have a clutch. So clutch is a device to change the speeds. Like we have clutch in our car. So whenever you want to change the speed, you use clutch. So what is the function of the clutch? It disengages the motion from the engine to the gearbox. So same here, clutch disengages the motion from the motor to the spindle, from the motor to the spindle, and then you can change the speed. What is the purpose of providing clutch over here? Because sometimes see there are two clutches here as well as here. Because sometimes suppose if this is a 10 feet length means 10 feet length means it's quite long, and if the operator is standing here and doing some work, and if he wants to change the speeds then, or if he wants to stop the machine, there is a brake pedal also down which can be operated by the foot. So if you want to stop the spindle all the way he has to run here. So in order to avoid that, in emergency if he wants to stop then he can uh, operate it easily because operator is standing here. Okay, and if this carriage is at extreme right, so he doesn't have to run from here to here, that's 6 feet, in order to stop the machine. So that's why foot pedal has provision of brake as well as you have a provision of clutch here. Then most of the then split nut. Split nut I already told you that split nut is used at the time of threading. Split nut. That is in order to pick up the thread. That is whenever you are taking series of cut, and in order to pick up the thread you have to use the split nut. So you have clutch here, you have clutch here. So wherever the operator is, it is convenient for him to operate anywhere. and this is what is called as the ergonomics. Ergonomics means the controls are located, positioned, designed in such a way that operators are easy to operate. Like in car, hmm, everything is handy. आपका विंड स्क्रीन बोलो, आपका वाइपर मोटर बोलो, आपका हेडलाइट्स, टेल लाइट्स, ऑन, everything is situated in such a way on the steering wheel that you don't have to find or you don't have to take any efforts. This device is a power supply unit, and generally it is called as a voltage stabilizer, which is not commonly used for conventional LEDs, but this is a must if with the CNC, because CNC there are a lot of electronic components. Here there are not, so that electronic components are sensitive to the voltage. So if no, if you get a sudden spike or a surge, then there are chances that electronic components will burn. So function of the voltage stabilizer is to stabilize the voltage. It doesn't allow that sudden surge to pass. These are the different lathe operations which we have already seen: turning, placing, boring, drilling, threading, welding. And these are the diagrams for this. So you can have a look for 1 minute.
हेलो। हाँ मोहन, अरे किधर हो? वो आने वाले थे, क्या हुआ? हाँ 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 हाँ, चलेगा चलेगा चलेगा। हाँ 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 वही, हाँ वही तो, बराबर। हाँ वही अभी चालू हुआ है ना। હા હા બરાબર હા પરવડતા નહીં બરાબર હા હા बराबर है हाँ चलेगा फिर ध्यान में रखना लेकिन हाँ 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 विजय नहीं आया हाँ हाँ चलेगा चलो हाँ 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 चलेगा चलेगा चलेगा
So these are the various less opportunities you are already familiar. Then this is a cutting tool. And can anybody tell me how many angles yesterday I told that are given on the cutting tool? Can anybody tell me how many angles are given on a tool? Four, five, six, or eight?
On the tool
Yeah, on the cutting tool.
4.
Uh, yeah. There are total. Yesterday I told you four, but there are total six angles that are given. Now, because yesterday I did not show you the top view. So in the top view you will have two more angles that is called as the end cutting edge angle, that is this, and side cutting edge angle. So that will be seen from the top view. So this is your back rake and side rake. So two angles which you will see from this front view. Then from the side view you can see end relief angle and side cutting edge angle. That is two. And then from the top again you will see end cutting angle and side cutting angle. So altogether six angles. Again I repeat, back rake angle, side rake end relief angle, side relief angle, and then edge angle and side cutting edge angle. Altogether 6 angles, and this is the nose radius. And this is a drawing that effectively you have to draw if this question is asked isometric. Or you can draw 3 views. Then this is nose radius. This is for the face. This is for the shank. This portion is shank and this portion is face. But nowadays nobody grinds the tool because everybody goes for the insert face tool, insert. And this insert can be used on lathe, conventional lathe as well as CNC. But mostly the inserts are used on the CNC and not on the conventional lathe. So wherever is having conventional lathe, they still use these HSS tools. Then these are the work holding devices which are used on the lathe machine. So this is a collet and this is a face plate. This is again a collet. So the use of collet is like unlike your 3-jaw chuck and 4-jaw chuck. Now if I am using 3-jaw chuck, it will have a arc contact but not over the entire circumference. It will have 3 contacts at 120 degree and for certain amount of arc. Whereas if collet is used, then the collet gives the grip across the entire circumference of the workpiece, entire circumference of the workpiece. So the gripping or the holding is powerful in collet. Plus the concentricity, you don't have to prove the workpiece. In case of 3-jaw chuck, again you don't have to prove because that is for the self-centering chuck. Self-centering chuck means your workpiece is centered automatically, whereas in 4-jaw chuck, you need to center the workpiece. So collet is also a self-centering device. That is, workpiece get centered automatically. This is your 3-jaw chuck in which the workpiece is hold. This is 4-jaw chuck. You can hold it from external as well as it can hold it from internal. Now, in this picture, the workpiece is clamped internally. Here again, if you are using this space, that is this यहाँ and this space, then suppose if you can clamp it from here, so that will be your internal clamping like this. And if you are using this space, then it can be used for external clamping like this. This will be your external clamping, and whereas this, if you are using it like this, then this will be your internal clamping. And as I told already, that 3-jaw chuck is a self-centering chuck, and all the 3 jaws come simultaneously in and go simultaneously out. Whereas in 4-jaw chuck, every jaw can be taken in and out independently. And that's why 4-jaw chuck is used for odd components. These are for the collet or collet chuck. is your magnetic chuck. But the disadvantage of magnetic chuck is it is used for terrace jobs. That is, the work is having iron. There are some calculations, that is machining time calculation. You have to use only one formula: V is equal to pi d n upon 1000. And why we are taking 1000? Because generally the diameter is given in millimeters and cutting speed is given in meters per minute. So in order to convert it into meter, we are dividing by 1000. So this is one numerical which many of you know already. So machine tools means nothing but study of different machines like lathe, milling, drilling, shaping, sorting, grinding. These are all machine tools. Machine tools is nothing but machines. And if you say only tools means cutting tools. That is the tools which are used for cutting the workpiece. And machine tools means machine. So the evolution was with lathe, and it is a very versatile machine, and that's why it is called as the mother of all machines. These are the various operations. That is, you can do grinding, polishing, you can do milling also, you can do gear cutting. Engine that is the prime mover or the source of the power is engine. And engine is kept below here and the drive is transmitted normally through belt. These are special type of legs, that is the turret legs. This is how a typical turret leg will look like. And if you can see carefully, this is what is your turret is on which you are mounting the tools. So if it is a hexagonal turret, you can mount the 6 tools. If it is octagonal turret, then you can mount 8 tools. Generally, hexagonal turret is a standard. Then this is front tool post, and this is four-way tool post. Means you can mount 4 tools. Like this, we have rear tool post, which is hidden because there is a component workpiece. So turret legs are used. These are actually semi-automatic legs. These are used for mass production and where the number of operations on a particular component are more. So there we are using turret legs. Like here now you can use 12 tools. 12 tools like from turret you can do drilling, countersunking, capping, internal that is internal threading, trimming, boring. Boring means enlarging the hole. From here you can do OD turning, taper turning, one after other. And this is totally a mechanical lathe and the sequence of operation, that is first is spacing, OD turning, drilling, all these are triggered through cams and stops. So all mechanical devices are used for sequencing these operations. So you can have single spindle or multi spindle. So far, whatever I told, that was single spindle, that is one spindle. In multi spindle, you can have two spindle, four spindle, eight spindle. So if we are talking about eight spindle lathe, that means eight components can be mounted, can be turned at a time. That means your production will be eightfold, eight times, because you can do machining of eight components simultaneously. If it is eight spindle, that is what is your multiple spindle lathe. So whenever there are many components, the requirement is lakhs pieces, 1 lakh pieces per day. So in such cases, this type of lathes are extremely useful. Eight spindle, and if you see 1 lakh pieces per day, if you can imagine, even 10 machines or 20 machines will not be sufficient to meet the requirement. Then before CNC was evolved, the bridge between conventional and CNC was DRO type machine. DRO. So DRO means digital read out. So DRO machine gives the position of slides in X direction and in Z direction. Remember, in case of leg, the axis which is parallel to the spindle is called as the Z axis, like this axis. It is longitudinal travel, which is against our coordinate system. What our coordinate system says, like this axis is Y and this axis is X. But in case of CNC lathe or DRO type of lathe, the x-axis, what we see in coordinate system, Cartesian system, x-axis is actually z-axis and y-axis is x-axis. That is the basic difference. Or to be precise, I can say that axis which is parallel to the spindle is called as the z-axis. So if the lathe, imagine now lathe is vertical, these are called the vertical lathe, vertical turret lathe. So the axis which is parallel to spindle, that will be Z. So in that case, vertical turret lathe में this axis, vertical axis will become the Z axis. So for many years, almost 5 to 6 years, DRO type machines were very popular because it used to give the location, exact location of the cutting tools in X and Z direction. These are your CNC lathe. I have shown you the video. Two spindles, two turrets. So two spindle means like you have one spindle here. This is one machine, photograph of one machine, and this is another spindle. So what happens, like as I told, that if you are not doing bar work, if you are not doing hollow spindle work, then moment the work is completed in first setting, there will be a robo or a handling device, metal handling device, which catches this workpiece and puts in this spindle for doing work of second setting. So the advantage of this is the workpiece is not remaining idle, doesn't remain idle. So your space is saved, work in inventory, that is WIP, workpiece inventory, that is running inventory, is zero because component after first setting is directly taken for the second setting. So these are called the two spindle, two turret CNC lathe, which are not more common. How to specify the lathe machine? Very important question. So lathe machines are the very first parameter to specify. So lathe machines are specified by the swing. That is, what is the maximum diameter of the workpiece can be accommodated, and by the admit. And by the admit. Admit means what is the length, maximum length of the workpiece which can be accommodated. So like this 13 inches swing means 13-inch diameter workpiece can be accommodated, and 6 feet long means length of the workpiece which can be accommodated is 6 feet. Now again, the length of the workpiece, it can be between centers or it can be between chuck and the center, but more or less by default it is always between center. See, this is what is the swing means. A swing means diameter. A is the swing. D is obviously the half of the swing. C is the length of the bed, and B is the distance between the centers. So I will tell you, this is important diagram. So obviously if you look, A is equal to 2 times B. The swing is equal to 5 swing is nothing but the diameter. So what is the difference between the admit and the length of the bed? So many times people say that मेरे पास 4 फीट का मशीन है, 6 फीट का मशीन है, 8 फीट का मशीन है. So that gives overall size. That gives overall size of the machine. That is what is nothing but C. That is length of the bed. It gives the overall size. These the people सामने वाला, you will understand. 20 फीट का लेते हैं, 40 फीट का लेते, means it gives you an idea that how much space the machine will require. And B is the distance between the centers. That is what is the maximum length of the workpiece that can be adjusted. So for you, you have to remember there are many parameters, but you have to remember these two. That is A, swing, and B, admit. See, these are the some big machine I was talking. And these kind of machines are still available in big workshops. All the textile companies, they have these machines in their workshop which are used for repair purposes, because every textile mills, they have their own repair workshop, because they have departments like spinning, weaving, dyeing, and there are many machines in this department. So in order to support, like suppose anything happens, breakdown, etc., then you need to have your own workshop. Air India, they have their own workshop. BARC, they have their own workshop. See how big the machines are. So these are 40 feet long. This is the roll, big roll. These big rolls are used in paper industries. आपका जो न्यूज़पेपर रहता है ना, हाँ, उसको प्रेस करने के लिए. इन डाइंग इंडस्ट्रीज, दैट इज जो कपड़ा है वो दो रोल के बीच में जाता है. रबर रबर मिक्सिंग मिल, रबर rubber making factories. These big rolls are required. So you need to manufacture these rolls. This type of machines are also called as the roll turning lathe, because you obviously cannot cut a small screw on these. These are typically meant for turning of the roll only. See here, these are the tool posts, and on the tool posts, people can sit and do the clamping of the tools. So again, the working on these big machines and working on this big component is also very skilled work, because if anything goes wrong, then you cannot afford to lose such a heavy component in terms of time or in terms of money, because it takes sometimes a week to complete this component. A week means almost 6 days and two shifts a day, so almost 12 shifts. And these rolls are turned, and then they are ground, and then they are lapped. So extreme care is taken so that there are no dents, there are no scratches on the roll. Because if you have any dents, scratches, that will be transferred to the cloth which is passing between these two rolls, or newspaper which is passing, and the newspaper, entire newspaper will get torn. Similarly, cloth also which is passing, it will get torn if there is a slight dent. This is how the roll turning lathe will look like, and this is a CNC roll turning lathe. What the machine you can see, that is your press brake machine, which is used for cutting the sheet into strips. This blue color one. This is your roll turning lathe machine. You can see how the cables are laid on the floor. People, they have to climb. This is a small stair to reach the tool post. Again, this is a huge lathe machine, and this component is pressure vessel, and this is being turned. So people working on this, they have to be skilled, and at the same time, this job is also sort of relaxing type. Means suppose if we start one cut here, then 2 घंटा आराम से, you know, he can have a sleep, because by the time this tool comes from here to here, it will be at least 2 hours. But then his responsibility is nothing goes wrong. That is what he has to see. And people working on these machines are not allowed to do work on other machines simultaneously. The full responsibility is given, so that he cannot say अरे मैं दो मशीन पे काम कर रहा था, तीन मशीन पे काम कर रहा था. No excuses. So you have a headstock, you have a quick change gearbox, carriage, bed, headstock. They are the major components. So what are the properties of the lathe bed? It should be heavy, rough casting, should support the parts of the lathe, and bed is the most important components, because on the bed all other components are mounted. This is how a bed will look like, and this is a cast bed. See, this is a big casting, the big casting. Of course, this is machined. Then you have headstock. So what are the functions of the headstocks? Headstocks are clamped on the left hand end of the bed. It has a spindle inside. The spindle is driven by a pulley, and also there is a reverse lever, feed reverse lever, in order to change the direction of the rotation of the spindle, or in order to change the feed direction. Feed, that is tool movement. This is how your headstock will look like. This is for the live center, because this center is rotating with the headstock spindle. So quick change gearbox, you can obtain various speeds and speeds. Like in car, you can get different speeds, high speed gearbox, plus one reverse, like that. So this is what a gearbox has. This is called the gear, and this particular gear is a helical gear, because the teeth are inclined. That's why it is called as the helical gear. And the clutch is used whenever you want to change the speeds. These are the pipes, lubrication pipes, which provides oil, because there are bearings on the shaft. And these are all running parts, so it needs to be lubricated. So in the machine there is a lubrication pump, and from the pump the oil is pumped to the various parts, and this oil under pressure reaches to the various parts. So you can manually run the pump, or that pump can be operated automatically also. In case of CNC, you can set after every 15 minutes the pump will start, and it will do the shot of or dose of lubrication oil every 15 minutes, and a desired shot volume, 1 cc, 2 cc. So you don't have to worry. In case of manual machine, every 2 hours or every 4 hours, sometimes The maintenance people, they will come during the tea break, during the breakfast break, during the lunch. They will come and they'll patapat, they will do oiling, greasing, lubrication. The purpose is to enhance or to increase the life of the machine. Okay, we'll continue next time. If you have any doubt, you please ask. Okay, thank you.